Hello, Eurovision friends. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. Ciao tutti. For this, my video about the potential Italian entry for Eurovision 2025, which is Olly with Balorda Nostalgia. He won the Sanremo Festival on Saturday. There was a bit of commotion when Georgia, who was the big favorite and was also my personal favorite, I loved her song, loved her way of performing, only came sixth. But Olly was my number two, so I'm quite happy with the choice. I said potential Italian entry, however, because he now has 1 week to make a decision. At first, I thought maybe he spoke to Angelina Mango because they have a song together, which I highly recommend. And she told him how Eurovision was like last year, the drama and the pressure as well. And maybe that's why he's thinking about it. But now I realize that it's probably because he has a lot of concerts lined up during Eurovision week and has to try to find a way to move them to be able to go to Eurovision. I hope they manage to do that because, as I said, it was one of my favorites, and I think he would be a good Italian entry at Eurovision. Now, in this video, as per usual, I will give points from 1 to 5 to different elements of the song and performance. I will also analyze it while giving the points, obviously. We will also look at your votes and comments from the community tab of my channel. If you want to participate in that, you got to subscribe to the channel. And I will also try to predict how Italy would do if Olly indeed decides to go to Eurovision and can work out the scheduling conflicts. As per usual, I want to start with the lyrics of the song. In this case, they are very simple, and I mean that in the most positive way. It feels like someone telling you a story, telling you about his life. Very singer-songwriter and cantautore as well. The song is about a relationship ending, and he uses very everyday activities to talk about how it was like to be in the relationship and how he feels now that the relationship has fallen apart. So let's have a look. He sings to laugh, cry, make love, and then stay in silence for hours until we fall asleep on the sofa with the remote in my hand. So that's a very day-to-day occurrence. When you're in a couple, you fall asleep together on the sofa. And he is singing about this time. The song is called Balorda Nostalgia, so stupid or foolish nostalgia. So he's looking back at that time, maybe realizing that he didn't appreciate enough what he had at the time, and now he's longing to have that back. He also says, while you cook, you start singing. So very usual occurrences when you're in a couple, and I think very relatable to a lot of people as well. And then he sings about, after the relationship unfortunately ended, I turn on the TV just to have some company. That is my favorite part of the lyrics, and it really hits home completely because it just shows the loneliness if you need the TV to feel company. I still look for you when my back itches, and I get an extra plate when I set the table for dinner. So he really hasn't come to terms with the relationship ending and is still looking back, having nostalgia. That's the name of the song. There's also a part that is a bit more poetic and more dramatic as well, where he says, this life is no life without you. But most of the song is really him telling us about everyday activities, and I just love how this hits home so much because it is just so relatable. There's also a part of the lyrics where he talks about an old lady hanging her laundry, telling him that this is not the night he will get back together with the significant other. So lots of, images conjured up in your head while you listen to the song. And I just like that. There could be a bit more poetic ways of expressing what they are expressing, but I like the simplicity as well, and so I gave 4.5 out of 5 points for the lyrics. Now for the voice, I didn't realize this, but I had a few of his songs already in my playlist. I love Italian music, as you might know if you've been to this channel. I love Per due come noi with Angelina Mango. Highly recommend that song. And I also liked his entry to Sanremo last year. I didn't connect the dots that that's the same person, but now I do realize it, and I notice how much I love the raspy tone in his voice, this really deep full voice with a lot of emotion. He sings this perfectly. He sang it perfectly every single night of Sanremo. And so we will have a great vocal performance at Eurovision. Love the vocal tone as well. And so I gave full 5 out of 5 points for the voice. Now, what really sells this, apart from the lyrics, is his style of performing. He just gives it his all. He's incredibly charismatic. He seems disengaged almost at the beginning and during some of the verses of the song. He doesn't really look at the camera, which makes it seem more, you feel his sadness more because he doesn't look directly at you in the camera. And then when the chorus hits, it's just emotion, emotion, emotion. You feel the pain and the suffering in his face and his facial expressions. He is just oozing charisma, and it's incredible to watch him perform. The song itself is sold by him 100%, I think, and so I gave 5 out of 5 points for the performance as well. Now, the staging, this is a typical Sanremo staging in that we don't have a staging really, but I think for this kind of song and this way of performing, this is the perfect staging. I hope if he goes to Eurovision, he doesn't make the mistake kind of that Angelina Mango made, over complicating the performance, putting lots of stuff on the stage, having background dancers. None of that is needed. Just him alone on that stage in his great outfits. Every single outfit, every single night of Sanremo was amazing. And then you don't have to do anything else, which is why I gave 5 out of 5 points for the staging as well, even though there isn't really a staging. For the song, is this the most innovative song ever? No. Is this a song we haven't heard before? Not really, but I still love it. I mean, this is my personal subjective opinion, so you can disagree with that. I think a few people might disagree, but I just love the guitar intro, the guitar throughout the song as well. The instrumentation is beautiful, how the guitar and his voice interact and really work together as well. I love the swaying chorus, the flow the song has. It's very soothing. I love also how he ends some of the sentences that he sings almost more in a spoken word way that adds to the storytelling bit that I feel when I listen to the song. It's very melodious, a teeny tiny bit repetitive and not very innovative, but still a song that I really, really like. It was my number 2 in Sanremo, which says a lot. And so I gave 4.5 points out of 5. The song counts 3 times, the staging counts twice, and that gives us 4.75 points for Italy. Well done, Italy. They do it every single year, at least for me. I hope the song actually goes to Eurovision. Now, before I tell you my prediction for Italy, do subscribe to this channel. More stuff like this, more videos like this will be coming out shortly. And I noticed that only a third of you watching this video are actually subscribed. So if you don't want to miss the videos, you gotta subscribe. And you can also vote in the community polls and lots of other stuff. Now for the prediction, I would always recommend to the big 5 countries to choose songs that are jury friendly, maybe not as up-tempo, because we have semifinals that are 100% televote, so a lot of televote friendly songs will qualify from the semifinals. And then if you have a song that doesn't have to qualify but is a jury friendly ballady song, you can really stand out. We see this year that a lot of songs that get chosen are very televote friendly already, maybe because they are thinking about qualifying from the televote only semifinals. And so being surrounded by crazy entries with big stagings, and then you have this very emotional ballad, very simple staging that can really help you stand out for both the juries and the televoters. I do think that for the televoters, my prediction would be 5th to 14th. I do think that he can sell this song very well, but I also see that a lot of people think the song is kind of boring, and I can objectively see, I personally think that it's a beautiful song, but objectively I can see that it's not the most innovative and catchy song that has ever been to Eurovision, to say the least. So my prediction is quite big when you talk about the range, 5th to 14th. If he sells this 100%, if he's surrounded by very loud entries, this could really work. If he isn't, and if he has to perform very early on, then it might not work as well. I think the juries will love this ballad. They like Italian ballads, French ballads as well. I think about Slimane and Marco Mengoni. That really worked. They were kind of late in the running order and surrounded by louder entries. So if that happens for Olly, he might be in the jury top 3, maybe. Not really sure, but I think a jury top 10 is almost assured at this point if he decides to go. And that gives us an overall prediction of 4th to 10th. I predicted Slimane and Marco Mengoni doing really well in the last 2 years, and people said, these are way too boring ballads. And in the end, I was right. So I'm kind of seeing that happen again with Olly this year. That's my prediction. Let's have a look at your votes and comments. And there you can see that lots of people think the song is a bit boring, maybe. 13% gave it 5 stars, 23% gave it 4 stars, 44% gave it 3 stars, and 20%, quite a lot actually, gave it 1 or 2 stars. So I like this song much more than the average subscriber, but that's normal for an Italian entry, I think. Let's look at some of your comments as well. Alexis says, Italy is going back with the same old formula. Well, it's not a bad song, but that's very basic for me. Olly has a huge charisma, and that's gonna help a lot. Completely agree with that. Costa says, I don't think the song is particularly great, but Olly's vocals and charisma should be enough to give Italy yet another top 10 placement. I do agree with that. Laurie Francis says, after feeling let down by Iceland and Ireland, this is what I needed. The ballad is very thoughtful and lyrics paint a beautiful picture. Exactly, I agree with that. Olly's delivery is exceptional. This should be in discussion for winner. Not sure about that. The singer-songwriter vibes are wonderful, 10 out of 10, and can capture rest of the world vote. Eurovision says, in Sanremo, it seems to me the audience rewards artists who trust them with all their feelings, passion, and vulnerability, the ones who open up and take a leap of trust. And Olly did this completely. I agree. He really opens up on that stage, shares his innermost feelings, it feels like, and it also feels very, very authentic. He feels what he is singing about, exactly. He means it, and it is real to him. This works at Eurovision as well. Think of France last year. The one thing I'm not sure about is the angst in Olly's performance. Will it come across as a little angry? That's interesting. I think he finds the right balance, not to seem angry, but really to seem passionate. I think people will get that. Luan Luke says, a brilliant little ballad in my eyes. I especially love the flow in the chorus. Just overall a good pick for me. Thank you so much for your comments, for your votes. Do let me know in the comments for this video how you would rate the entry, whether you want it to go to Eurovision, and how you think it will do at Eurovision if it is indeed going. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And if you do subscribe, I will see you for my next one. See you then, and bye-bye.